Craft haircutting is built on geometry and shape. And when you look in nature, those shapes are everywhere, big and small. You'll see that same inspiration woven into every haircut in this collection. I was inspired by Crater Lake for this haircut. It's top-heavy, wide at the parietal ridge, and then sinks down toward the nape. Think of the lake as the disconnection point and the ridgeline as the bowl-shaped perimeter that surrounds it. Just like in nature, our guests don't always have a uniform curl pattern, and I don't see that as a fire I have to put out with a flat iron. I want to embrace the variety and give my guest a cut they can style naturally. Her varied texture is now the building material for my shape. Let's walk through how I built this. There are 3 main techniques. First, I section off a curved rectangular section over the apex of the skull with elongated corners. This section will represent the diverse ridgeline of Crater Lake. Next, I move into the base. Below the parietal ridge, I create these bat wing shaped sections that help support and bolster the overall silhouette. To create the concave shape of this section, I tilt the model's head strongly forward. Using vertical subsections, I create graduation through the bottom with a dynamic technique I learned from John Raymond. I use the full length of the blade starting at the apex, and I close the blade completely along the surface of the subsection. With each small cut, I let the hair fall away naturally and move down the subsection, cutting from short to long again and again until I reach the bottom of the section. I am holding the subsection with some tension here. This cutting technique helps me blend the various textures together across these zones and gives structure to the shape of the base at the same time. Now I move back to that top rectangle. In one of Gerard Scarpesi's classes, he shared this idea that really stuck with me. Just make the disconnection relate. As I played with integrating disconnection into my cuts, I had a lot of success utilizing about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of overhang. When you stay within a certain distance of the subsections you're relating, you'll hit that point of interest that sings instead of screams, making disconnection wearable. So for this section, I'm using a stationary guide to create a soft concave shape that floats over the base. I'm razor cutting with an open stroke, going with the grain of the cuticle all the way through the top. Now it's time to marry the top and the base by texturizing through the top, and this, where the long and the short pieces integrate, is what brings the magic of disconnection to every haircut behind the chair. I'll work through the top in pie-shaped sections, elevating each one at 90 degrees. Using the apex of my shears, I slide cut my way through each pie piece, carving in a soft C shape as the hair falls away. This step adds lightness and blends that magic zone where the longer top section meets the shorter bottom. It's what allows the top to float and disconnect beautifully, bringing that Crater Lake-inspired shape to life. You'll see that same inspiration woven into every haircut in this collection. Each shape is designed around a bold focal point, and that strong visual anchor sets the tone, no matter what texture you're working with. With this collection, we're hoping to bring the beauty of the Pacific Northwest to the forefront and bring nature to the forefront of beauty. In that vein, I just have to say we were so excited when we found out that the daikon seed oil in Aveda's new Miraculous oil is sourced in Oregon, right in our own backyard.